up we got. Do all black people think the same? 3 years later. Now, maybe they made a video like 3 years ago about do all black people think the same or whatever, but I don't know. I ain't watch. I didn't know about Jubilee 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta do all black people think the same. Now, this is gonna be a funny video. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I want to see what these questions is, to be honest, because they be having some good questions. But hey, let's see what it is time about.
White people having dreads is cultural appropriation. Strongly agree, strongly disagree? Answer in the comments below. It's just a prompt on our Kickstarter.
I thoroughly enjoy fried chicken. You know, I understand the stereotypes about it and all that kind of stuff, but
that chicken thing, man.
The chicken.
You know, chicken is that's just not something that black people enjoy. You name me one group of people that don't like a yard bird.
Damn, they came up 3 years ago. They was like, they even had like that's crazy. Jubilee on that grind.
Kanye West is invited to the cookout.
Is Kanye West invited to the cookout? And that's a funny question. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, he is. I ain't gonna lie. He invited. He invited. He invited. He invited. Oh, that's it. Disagree?
Things have not changed. They might have got worse. Let's just be honest.
Well, yeah, last time I was agree because I was like, he's just the crazy drunk uncle, but now he's a little too disruptive. I don't want him at my cookout.
I mean, granted, he's got a lot of things he's going through, so I'm not expecting him to change anything right now, but right now he's just still, he needs some time. Figure out his life, then come eat.
I'm doubling down. Again, he's misunderstood. People like Kanye are creatives, and he uses like creative speech.
Like, I don't think that he's so creative and that his words are being misinterpreted. Like, he's making very specific phrases, like black people chose to be slaves. That's completely untrue, and in my opinion, that's just unacceptable.
But I think that's people misunderstanding what he's saying. And let's be real, like, nobody, including Kanye, doesn't think that like people got in line to get shackled to be a slave. This is part of the problem. The media cut off kind of like the overall like meaning of what he's trying to say. People were angry that he was Republican or that he was voting for Trump. And what he was basically saying is, don't be a slave to like the Democratic Party. I think there's an identity politics issue in the black community. You're not allowed to think freely. And he is, to me, another member of my community. And I want him on my cookout.
Invite him over your house then, for a perfect barbecue.
Yeah, Kanye West invited.
Would you let Kanye teach your children?
I think Kanye West is not a bad person.
I ain't saying he's a bad person.
He's a bad person.
I'm not saying he's a bad person
This has
either.
nothing to do about him as a person.
But I wouldn't let the Grand Wizard give my children a history lesson.
Dave Chappelle.
Is Dave Chappelle? See, I don't even know about Dave Chappelle. I mean, I know he what is he? A comedian. I know he's a comedian, and I think I seen like one of his videos or one of his like acts, which is funny. But I think Dave Chappelle be having like a lot of like controversy. I think he be saying like off the wall shit, so people like kind of don't like him. You know what I'm saying? But I guess I can't really, you know, I can't really answer this question.
I have loved ones and friends and family who are like part of the queer community, and I have friends who are trans, and talking to them about like the last couple specials and just sort of like his comments in general about trans people, it has kind of rubbed me the wrong way, which is like, it sucks because I really did love Chappelle's show. I loved a lot of his stand-up specials, but like over the years, it's just like, okay, well now I'm seeing it through a different lens because other people are bringing things to light that I probably wasn't thinking about when I watched it.
I'm a big Dave Chappelle. I love comedy. He was trying to navigate a very, very narrow channel. And I think he did it quite well. I mean, because he's a comedian. You know, they're there to push the boundaries of funny. And at the same time, what you were saying, you got to be careful. So I agree with you on that. But after hearing Chappelle explain, you just saw when he was on stage after he did the closer.
Yeah,
he
came back.
Yeah, after hearing, I don't think he had any malice in his heart.
I think we need to learn how to not apologize for people because of their historical importance. Just because I love the Chappelle show doesn't mean I'm gonna stand up for the closer. Like, it's not always just a joke, because it might be just a joke to you. It's not just a joke to that person who just got murdered.
black people are more homophobic than other races.
Bro, what? No. Hey, bro, it don't matter what color you are. You could be homophobic. What the fuck? What the, no. Disagree, bro. Disagree.
Other races.
Disagree, bro. Disagree.
So I'm gonna say this. I'm an avid golfer, right? So a lot of my friends who I play golf with are white.
Bro. And just like, bro, just off the playing Call of Duty alone, bro, they make more gay jokes. And I know Call of Duty, you know what I'm saying? It'd be a lot of white people playing Call of Duty. It's a lot of black people too, but if you're on a mic, you're going to hear, majority of the time, you're going to hear a white person say something. And majority of the time, they talk about gay people or, you know what I'm saying, racist stuff towards black people. You know what I'm saying? But it's still homophobic. They're still doing, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, how can you say just straight black people, you know what I'm saying, homophobic?
Some stuff too when it comes to, so that's why I was like, I gotta come with somewhat disagree, but you know, I only can speak from our community. We are a little rough on the LGBTQ community. So
Why do you guys think this prompt is asked?
Because there's a lot of rappers who say homophobic stuff all the time.
Yeah, and the black church, I think religion plays.
But I'm not saying black people isn't homophobic, because it definitely is. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Just like I said, I forgot about the rap thing. They definitely is. You feel me? But I just feel like you can't just say that just black people alone is more homophobic. You know what I'm saying? Because, come on, bro. Like, no.
Part of homophobia in like our society today. Like, but it's not just the black church.
America would be better off if only black people voted.
What the fuck? Bro, what type of questions is these? America would be better off if black people only voted? Bro, no. I ain't gonna lie. Disagree, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Because it's like, okay, we have a lot. It's like, I mean, honestly, it's like with every race. We have a lot of people that's smart and a lot of people that's just, you know what I'm saying, stupid. So it's like, if just black people voted alone, I feel like just off just like, you know, the stereotypical more ignorance, you should say, more ignorance. Black people, yeah, bro, we would be just voted for just like, if somebody would say, oh, we'll give you extra money or some dumb that they would, you know what I'm saying, vote for another person versus like actually helping the America, or, you know what I'm saying. I feel like black people would just be focused on one thing, you know what I'm saying. Like, that's how I feel like it
would pretty much reflect what would be good for the outcome of America,
even for the LGBTQ community.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe so.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just asking things that are just within our own community that we don't all agree on.
That's a good question. I think the majority of us would actually be for equal rights. Black people know what it's like to be discriminated against.
I think anytime you have a homogenous group that's making decisions, you're inevitably going to have problems. So, like, I think it might start off with this idealist, you know, way of like, yes, let's vote for things that are going to make everybody happy, but eventually, like, power just corrupts people. So if we're the only ones voting, we're going to start to do stuff that advantages us, especially given our history here.
Black people can be racist.
Yes, black people can definitely be racist. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. They definitely can be racist.
I think somebody told me about how like racism exists within this space of power, and like you have to look at it in terms of racism comes from having the power for your ideals to actually cause harm to other people or disadvantage other people. And so most of the time, a racist black person doesn't have enough power to harm somebody that they're racist against.
Are you saying there aren't black people who can hire and fire people?
No.
Well, I hire and fire people all the time.
What's power to you then?
Racism is a specific type of prejudice. That everyone can be prejudiced.
Can a Chinese person be racist?
In China, yes.
How about here?
In America, I think so, in America, it's a predominantly white ran society. So I think as a racial oppression system.
So a Chinese person cannot be racist to black people in the United States?
I think they can be prejudiced to black people. I think they can influence individual black people. But let me say this: I look at racism as a system.
Yeah.
I think context matters in this situation here. So, because when you look at it like this, when you just break, can a black person be racist? Yes. Can a black person be racist in America? I don't really know. Think about it. How does a black person being racist in America benefits a black person?
That's my point.
If I want to be racist,
hey, I fuck with him, bro. He funny.
In America, how can I get ahead as being I'm gonna set out to be a black racist.
But getting ahead isn't the criteria to be racist.
But racism, that's where it starts at, though, bro. Like, it's like one of the main engines.
So, all right, so we're going to use different words. What you're basically saying is that in order to be racist, you can only be white in the United States.
I'm just saying the impact is bigger.
Yeah.
So the judgment around what it is, none of it's right, but the impact is widely different.
Yep, I agree with what he
The
said.
U.S. should pay black people reparations.
Reparation,
The
what is
U.S.
that?
should pay black people reparations.
Yeah,
3,
wait.
2, 1, go.
I will say though, it's not just black people. U.S. owes a lot of people money.
The U.S. doesn't exist without black help, African Americans.
Hands down, at every stage.
I'd like to correct it though. I think something should be done for the descendants of slaves.
That's
Okay.
why I was like,
I
I want
took
them
it
to
as
speak
black-
Wait,
more.
what did he say? What did the first dude say?
I will say though, it's not just black people. U.S. owes a lot of people money.
The U.S. doesn't exist without black help, African Americans.
Hands down. at
Black
every
help?
stage.
I'd like to correct it though. I think something should be done for the descendants of slaves.
That's
Okay.
why I was like, I
I
want
took
them
it
to
as
speak
black
more.
Americans. I took it as black
Yeah,
Americans.
because I feel like my family just got here in the 70s. So like, do I feel like I deserve what a person deserves whose family has
don't.
literally been in slavery? No.
Well, the question you asked was a good question.
Yeah.
Do you deserve? I think yes. But how much do you deserve in comparison to others with longer history here? That's the next question.
Why does a recent immigrant from Africa that came maybe 10
Because
years
they have
ago
to deal
deserve
with
money?
there is systemic oppression still happening today. So they're still impacted. It may not be the same degree, but they're still impacted. And reparation for me doesn't mean here's $5 or here's $1 million, one individual black person. It means what are we doing to repair the community that we have disenfranchised in our society. That's all it means to me.
Yeah. I mean, anyways, I think reparations, the term to me is people look at it as like getting a check.
Right.
And a check needs to be cut. Don't make no mistake about that. A check needs to be cut because the wealth of this country was stolen from our labor, bro.
Yeah.
So, and don't think just because you're from Africa, you don't deserve none of that either. Because they did a number on Africans as well.
Police target black men and women. 3,
We all know this. Shouldn't even be a. Why is this even a question? Like what?
2, 1, go.
Bro, everybody should be strongly agree. There you go. I'm about to say, bro.
You know, I like law and order. I like safety. And I do think, for the most part, a lot of the police throughout the country do it to serve their communities. But, you know, the last 2 years has really showed me that, like, you know, we have a lot of problems. And it's not, you know, it was emotional for me as well, especially after, you know, the George Floyd incident, but that wasn't even the only one. There's so many. And it got to the point where, you know, I started to really ask myself, like, is this, you know, how can you get law and order and safety and still respect police, but at the same time, like, fight for change? And it's hard. I mean, I don't know what to do. I don't think any of us really have the solution.
It was created to monitor the minority in the group. Back in the day, it was the Irish, it was Italians, and so it's ingrained into the system of policing. And that's the problem. I think we have to reframe what policing is now. And until we do that, it will always be targeting people of color because that's what it was created to do. It's one of those things for me, like the phrasing of it is police, and that's a big term, right? That means it's not an individual person we're talking about an institution, we're talking about all the people within that institution. The system, the institution is protecting the individuals who have targeted people of color, and we see them doing that because the ones that get caught in media, it's not the first infraction. So that means there were individuals who were aware of what happened, either being a partner in the car with them or on the streets with them, or a supervisor or whoever it may be, who allowed them to go back on the street in the same manner that they were before and continue doing the same thing.
And the institution makes money from the targeting of black people.
Yep.
If the police don't arrest people, prison get no customers.
You got to look at the prison industrial complex here too in the U.S. That's huge business. So, and if you look at a group of citizens that have been perceived as no value having to society or whatever, okay, boom, we're gonna push them, we're gonna pipeline them into that system.
But also you have to remember that like almost 20% of murders is us. And like we're the victims of a lot of crime, right? And so we're also the beneficiaries of some of the protections that do happen. And so it hurts us to have like no type of protection or safety as well.
We're not saying abolish all forms of protection, right? We're saying we need to reframe what that protection looks like so that we can feel safe. Because we don't, even though people say the statistics are saying we're safer on the statistics, but really does the community feel safer?
What did you all think about Derek Chauvin's guilty verdict?
I feel like it's still performative in some ways. Like, cool, all right, there's that verdict. There's still probably going to be a video tomorrow of somebody else. So it doesn't feel like it moves the needle very much when it's just one very high profile case.
And then it's like, even if like, bro, it's like that same person, bro. Just because he got in, it's so many of them just like this, bro. It's so many of them, bro. So just that one person, like, you know what I'm saying? I really be feeling like behind the scenes, though. I really feel like behind the scenes, like deep down and behind the scenes, like every time I see about a police finally go to jail, you know what I'm saying? And remember, it takes so long for them to go to jail. Like they be having like the longest case in the world, even though they have all the proof. Anyways, bro, I really think deep down, I think that they let them get off, bro. I think they just say he's guilty, but deep down, I feel like some, you know what I'm saying, some little shit, they just let him go. You know what I'm saying? Say he really not guilty. You feel me? Like, I don't know though. That's just me.
Feel like it moves the needle very much when it's just one very high-profile case. Something needs to change for those people who are supposed to be our protectors to actually protect us. And I do want to say that you said something about like we're the ones who do the most crime or something like that.
Or we're victims.
We're the most victims. Yeah, and it's like, why are we victims all the time? Why are, there being guns put into our communities at higher levels? Why are we getting sentenced for certain offenses more heavily than other races? Like,
Because the prison need customers.
Exactly, and it's customers too. It's not just prisoners.
Number one
You're saying that we're victims. We're getting killed and robbed and hurt we're getting hurt.
But why?
Not because that. I think
But
that
why
has
are
nothing
we?
to do with the prison.
No, it does. There's research that says impoverished communities have more crime. It's not because they enjoy crime more. It's because they're impoverished. It's because they need money. They need to survive. And so there's a cycle there's a cycle of prison, which means less education, which means less income, which means smaller money coming to your community, which means less education, which means more crime, which means more prison. So the statistics about our community making crime, yes, but why is that cycle happening in our community?
I am proud to be black. 3, 2, 1.
Bro, I
go.
swear, if you don't say, everybody don't say strongly agree, bro.
Nothing's changed there.
Yay!
Right?
Glad to have you on the same side as us for once.
Oh, finally?
Yeah.
I feel more proud of our people every day because it's another day we survived. Even the slightest microaggressions that happen to our community throughout, and yet we wake up, and yet we get dressed, and yet we go out, and we do it again and again because we have the hope of a better future of change. And I think that's something to be very proud of and to never let slide. Always be proud of that.
Yeah, and I think the more I see people gaining traction, like in America changing to where we're able to make moves in ways that we couldn't before, the prouder I get. So, it might sound silly to be excited about seeing more black billionaires or like a black, I think, Miss America, Miss USA, and Miss something else. Like all 3 were black women for the first time ever.
I just want to say for all the people in the comments that were saying, I'm not black, I'm black. Okay? Because a lot of people were accusing me of basically, not being black. And I think it's important to remember that black is diverse and that we have different types of hair, different skin tones. And so, anyways.
We're not a monolith.
We're not a monolith.
We're not a monolith.
Oh, man.
That's it. Hey man, y'all like, comment, subscribe, comment, and react to next, man. Follow me on Instagram, where I'm most active at. We on the grind. 10K. Now I'm out.